We are here with the beautiful Heather Locklear, who I've known most of my life.
I think in the 90s, the Don't Sweat the Small Stuff came out.
Have you ever thought about a celebrity's life as being perfect? Have you ever wished to have the kind of life they have? You may have been there, wishing you had the kind of money and fame they have, until you read their stories and came to terms with the fact that they are still humans, bound to face challenges, and some of them, like Heather Locklear's story, are heartbreaking. She is a competent and talented actress, but her personal life is more like the opposite of her career. So, what exactly happened? What's her story, and why is it beyond heartbreaking? Hang on as we explore, bit by bit, the tragedy of Heather, which is really beyond heartbreaking. Heather, her early life and career. Born on the 25th of September, 1961, in the vibrant city of Los Angeles, California, Heather is the daughter of Diane, a smart production executive, and Bill Locklear, who served as an administrator at the University of California, Los Angeles, and was a former colonel in the U.S. Marine Corps. Talk about a powerhouse family! Coming out from this family would only mean that she would do well for herself. While she was in the same university where her father worked as an administrator, she jumped into the modeling industry. And with the kind of beautiful body she had, she started landing gigs in commercials for her school store. She also kicked off her movie career in the early 80s with small roles in shows like Chips and 8 is Enough. In 1982, Heather started a huge collaboration with television producer Aaron Spelling. She first appeared as Sammy Jo Dean in a role in the movie called Dynasty. While still in the movie, she got a starring role as Officer Stacy Sheridan in the cop drama titled T.J. Hooker. For several years, she juggled both shows until T.J. Hooker wrapped up in 1986. After that, Heather dedicated herself fully to Dynasty and stayed with the series until it concluded in 1989. After the success of her movie in 1989, she stepped into one of her most iconic roles 10 years later as Amanda Woodward on Aaron Spelling's drama series titled Melrose Place, created by Darren Star. According to the New York Times, her role as Amanda revived her career, which was going into the realm of made-for-TV movies. From 1994 to 1997, she earned 4 Golden Globe nominations for Best Actress in a television series drama, which solidified her status in the industry. Heather didn't stop her modeling career as she graced the cover of Rolling Stone magazine on the 19th of May 1994, just as Melrose Place got to its highest popularity. They also named her one of People magazine's 50 Most Beautiful People, not once, but twice, first in that year and again in 2001. Thinking about her career and how much she had achieved, she shared, "I don't think I thought of myself as an actress probably until I just did this movie. I knew there was a lot more I could do, given the opportunity. With this last movie, I think I can say I'm an actress." The beginning of her career was not so smooth, but at the end, she flourished in everything she did, making a huge name for herself and getting a very loyal fan base. Let's explore the latter career of Heather and how she became one of the best in her time. Heather's career in the 2000s. In 2009, she returned to the revamped Melrose Place on the CW, talking about her role as Amanda Woodward. From the 17th of November 2009, she acted in 8 episodes, where Amanda had evolved into a partner at a public relations firm. Also, in 2011, Heather starred in the Lifetime movie titled He Loves Me. In 2012, she stepped back into the spotlight with a returning role on the TV land comedy titled Hot in Cleveland. The following year, she was a regular on the comedy drama titled Franklin and Bash. In 2014, she participated in a public service announcement titled We Are Sarah Jones, honoring a camera assistant named Sarah Jones, who tragically lost her life in an accident on the set of Midnight Rider. In 2016, Heather featured in the television movie titled The Game of Love, which premiered on UP on the 15th of May. Also in 2021, she decided to take on the role of Christine Carlson in the Lifetime film titled Don't Sweat the Small Stuff. The Christine Carlson story, which explored the changes in Carlson's life after her husband, Dr. Richard Carlson, passed away unexpectedly in 2006. Having looked at her interesting upbringing and career, let's look at the tragic story of Heather. There is a lot to unravel, so stay tuned as we explore it quickly. The real tragic story of Heather. She excelled in her career and passion, but in the midst of her professional achievements, she has faced her fair share of personal challenges. From 2 failed marriages to the publicized battles she had with substance abuse and mental health.
You know, this isn't the first time Locklear has been in trouble with the law. She has struggled with alcohol and substance abuse, and now police are investigating.
She has tried to endure some very tough times that have made everyone talk. Through it all, she has shown her excellent resilience with the determination to reclaim her life and restore her career. When she was juggling more gigs and her career was at its peak, she got married to Motley Crue drummer Tommy Lee in 1986, after an interesting romance that lasted just a few months. Their relationship raised eyebrows, and the media tried but couldn't quite understand what the beautiful and most beloved actress saw in the tall, hard-partying rock star. But Heather didn't care about what other people were saying about the strange marriage. In her interview with People, she said, "I've only thought of getting married once. I planned for this one to last." But soon enough, it looked like people were right, as things didn't work out for Heather and Tommy. A very important factor against their marriage was Tommy's increasingly wild lifestyle, which only increased under the spotlight of their famous marriage. Some reports stated that he was so out of control while he was on a tour with Motley Crue that he had to be handcuffed to his bed to keep him from going about and cheating on Heather. Tommy later said that his intense infidelity was the main reason their relationship fell apart. A radio host named Kelly Raspberry talked about this painful chapter for Heather in the TV documentary titled The Price of Fame. Heather Locklear stating, "She has said that was a terribly painful time for her." The couple officially separated in 1993, and Tommy quickly moved on, getting married to another actress named Pamela Anderson in 1995 after a courtship that lasted just a few days. As for Heather, after her divorce from Tommy, she also didn't stay single for long. She soon started dating Richie Sambora, who was the guitarist for Bon Jovi, and the couple got married just 7 months later in December 1994. For close to 10 years, everything looked stable, but again, rumors of marital trouble started coming up in the media. In response, the couple issued a statement to the New York Daily News stating, "The real story is that there is no story. The truth is that after 11 years together, we are still happily married. Boring, but true." However, in February 2006, after they welcomed their daughter, Ava Elizabeth Sambora, Heather did the unthinkable by filing for divorce. Her then-husband initially debunked the news, telling ABC News that it was false news. He also claimed he was blindsided, but he quickly moved on and started a relationship with Denise Richards just weeks later, who happened to be one of Heather's close friends, which is a very suspicious move. They finalized the divorce in April 2007. A friend of Locklear shared with People, "This has been an unbelievably difficult year for Heather. It's a huge relief for her that this part of her life has come to a close." Things took another dramatic turn when a media person reported that Denise had encouraged her friend to divorce him, and Denise later confirmed that her romance with Richie ended her friendship with Heather. Talk about the shocker of the decade. The time after Heather Locklear's divorce from Richie was a tough one for her. In March 2008, first responders were called to her home after a 911 call reported an attempted self-inflicted injury, which turned out to be a false alarm. Ventura County Fire Department Captain Barry Parker shared with Showbiz Spy, "Ms. Locklear said she was fine, and there appeared to be no problem. Nobody in the house needed medical attention, so we left after about 10 minutes." However, TMZ later reported that the call was made by Heather's psychiatrist, who was alarmed by her recent behavior and feared she might intentionally overdose on the depression medication he'd prescribed. In spite of this, her representative still insisted that everything was fine. According to her representative, "I spoke with Heather and she is fine. She never requested medical assistance and did not place a 911 call. Nor did anyone from her house call 911. Yet TMZ later got a recording of the call, which featured the doctor's voice, which expressed concern about their patient potentially attempting self-inflicted injury. Some authorities found no evidence that Heather had attempted to take her own life, and this incident marked the beginning of a troubling series of events in the following weeks, months, and years. Just 3 months later, in June 2008, she effortlessly made headlines again when she went into a medical facility in Arizona. Her spokeswoman, Cece York, confirmed to the media that her psychiatrist had been treating her for depression. She said, "Heather has been dealing with anxiety and depression." She requested an in-depth evaluation of her medication and entered into a medical facility for proper diagnosis and treatment. As reported by the Daily Mail, Heather had recently finished filming the Lifetime movie titled Flirting with 40 and felt it was the right time to get help. A source said that she just wanted to feel better and get to the bottom of what was actually wrong with her because she really had a tough year. During her time at the treatment facility, Heather did not only receive medical care, but she also enjoyed unusual treatments like spa treatments and horseback riding, as well as other activities. 4 weeks later, she returned to her home in Los Angeles. A source told People, "Heather's feeling really great, and she looks beautiful, just radiant." They felt positive about her recovery. She told a really funny story and laughed from her core. "That's when I knew she was going to be fine." But just 2 months after leaving the Arizona facility, law enforcement agents arrested her outside Santa Barbara in California. A witness had reported her driving carelessly, making the police find her car parked on a highway right in the middle of traffic. They were suspecting that she was under the influence of illicit substances, so they arrested her. But she was released after some days without having to post bail. Following her arrest, Heather was formally charged with driving under the influence. The media reported that there were a lot of claims suggesting her arrest had been set up by Jill Ishkanian, a former reporter and editor at Us Weekly. Jill's lawyer argued that she was simply acting as a concerned citizen when she called the police after spotting Locklear driving erratically in a supermarket parking lot. The attorney also claimed that Jill was being an intrepid reporter when she showed up at the scene of the arrest and took photos, which she later sold to TMZ for a sum of $27,500. A few months later, the court dismissed her case after she entered a plea of no contest. According to People, the court sentenced her to 3 years of informal probation.
Heather, how are you doing? The turmoil continues for troubled actress Heather Locklear. The former Melrose Place star shielded her face with a hoodie today after being busted yet again. Do you have any statement to make at all, Miss Locklear?
Along with a $700 fine. In addition, they required her to complete a DMV road and safety class, which would take 12 hours to finish. After her second divorce, she started dating a fellow actor named Jack Wagner, and this revived a relationship that dated back to their time together on Melrose Place a decade earlier. In August 2011, they announced their engagement, with a rep confirming the news to People. Interestingly, rumors about their engagement and romantic relationship had been swirling since 2009 when the media spotted her wearing a large diamond ring. At that time, a source mentioned that while they weren't technically engaged, they were certainly acting like it and were fully committed to each other. According to the reliable source, she's in it for the long haul with Jack. Their friends know their future is together, but they're not officially engaged. However, just a few months later, tragedy hits again as the couple called off their engagement. One of the reasons for the cancellation was that the wedding planning had become overwhelming, and it put intense pressure on both of them. Also, both Heather and Jack had children from previous relationships, which made them rethink the idea of blending their families. Not long after ending their engagement, the former couple split up entirely under reportedly tense circumstances. Sadly, this marked another heartbreak for Heather in her quest for lasting love. Just 2 months after their breakup, she was rushed again to a nearby hospital by an ambulance after another 911 call made by her sister. TMZ reported that her sister was concerned for Heather's well-being after she had combined prescription medication with illicit substances. Fortunately, a follow-up showed that she was responsive and that the treatment she received seemed to be effective. Her parents were also loving enough to stay by her side in the hospital and assuring everyone that she would be fine in a statement to the media. The next day, she was released from the hospital, with the Associated Press diplomatically noting that she'd been treated for an unknown ailment. Although the details surrounding her days in the hospital were unclear in a way, a subsequent report from Star magazine, as covered by the Daily Mail, brought some light on the tragic events which led to her medical intervention. According to the outlet, Jack Wagner had visited her home to drop off some belongings, which sparked a heated argument. The two exchanged some unpleasant words until Jack lunged at Heather, making her swing back and connect, knocking him to the ground. After that violent encounter, the report claimed Heather started drinking while also taking Xanax, which was prescribed for her anxiety. This ultimately led to her sister's 911 call and her journey to several days in the hospital. In 2017, Heather said that she had reconnected with Chris Heiser, a former high school boyfriend from 4 decades earlier. The two got engaged, and as of January 2024, they remained engaged, which brought a sense of hope to her personal life. One would think the couple would live happily ever after, but life had other plans, especially for Heather. There were 2 arrests in June 2018, which led to court proceedings the following year. In August 2019, TMZ reported that she entered a no-contest plea to 8 charges, 6 of which involved battery of EMTs and police officers, while the other 2 charges were for resisting arrest. Instead of the 120 days in jail she was facing, the judge ordered her to spend 30 days in a mental health facility. This treatment was not voluntary. She had a deadline of September 6th to enter the facility, or the 120-day jail sentence would be reinstated. Heather unfortunately agreed and spent her 30 days in treatment. According to the court documents obtained by People, she was discharged on the 20th of September and continued her treatment on an outpatient basis. Her attorney named William Haney informed the court that while she was in the facility, Heather was committed to therapy and had been compliant and participatory, as well as actively engaged. However, a source told People that it was exactly because Heather had such excellent legal representation that she could easily avoid facing some serious repercussions that might inspire meaningful change in behavior. Here is what the source said. She's got such great legal representation, so the result is she isn't being held accountable. It could be back to the same square she was on before. In March 2023, Radar Online reported that Heather continued to thrive in everything she did. She had put the past behind her, and she was ready to focus on a Hollywood comeback. The ultimate goal is to work on a comeback that would shake the whole world. But again, in July of that same year, shocking footage came up, and they raised a lot of concerns about her well-being. Photos and videos gotten and posted by the New York Post showed Heather dangerously balancing on the edge of a building and later sitting on a staircase, looking lost while reading aloud from what seemed to be a journal. The Post reported, "At one point, a disheveled Heather aggressively pointed at something in the book, slammed it shut, and continued to talk to herself before making her way down the stairs." The media later reported that an anonymous source claimed Heather had relapsed. They also said she may have gone back to her illicit substances, and she couldn't get away from it. Her family is so scared, and everyone who knows her seems helpless about her situation. Speaking about her weight, the source said, "She's also on Ozempic and obsesses over her weight. She's lost 40 pounds. However, another source seemed to disagree with these allegations, insisting that everything was fine. According to the source, Heather is most definitely not drinking. She hasn't for years. She's very upset at that allegation. It's super hurtful. This divergence in accounts highlighted the ongoing concern for Heather's well-being amid conflicting reports about her behavior. One does not know which one to believe or not, but anyone that comes with, "What do you think about the heartbreaking story of Heather Locklear?" Let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. To enjoy more exciting videos, click play on the video on your screen. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you get notified when a new video drops.